All right, welcome to the show. This is Tune and Fat, where some of my friends get together and we talk about everything and nothing. We deep dive into the many topics and see where the conversation takes us. So you can expect a chat of some more thoughtful discussions. I like to engage with the audience, so comments are encouraged. All right, we got our normal co-host, DT.
Hello.
Gregory.
Yo, guys. Welcome.
All right. So tonight, I've decided we're going to do a show. Well, we all decided, and this is a good topic about conspiracy theories turned true, or something that once was considered misinformation or a conspiracy theory that is later turned true. So we'll start with Dave. Dave sent me this email earlier today. I thought was really good.
By the way, all that I sent you is fact.
It's fact.
Yeah, that's fact.
That is fact.
There is the conspiracy illuminating around it, but the stuff that is detailed in there is actually it did happen.
So it did, yeah. So in 2000, Saddam Hussein did something very few people paid attention to. He announced Iraq would start selling oil in euros, not US dollar. 3 years later, the United States invaded Iraq. No weapons of mass destruction were ever found, but something else happened quietly. Iraqi oil went right back to being priced in dollars. Most people call that coincidence. I call it a lesson. That is very interesting. In 2009, Muammar Gaddafi proposed something even more dangerous, a gold-backed African currency, the gold dinar. It would be allowed African nations to buy oil without using dollars. In 2011, NATO intervened in Libya for humanitarian reasons. And as we know, when the government says we're here to help, but they're never here to help. Right? Isn't that Ronald Reagan said that? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Gaddafi was killed. The gold dinar disappeared. Libyan oil back to U.S. dollars. Another coincidence? Dave, what do you think? No.
It's not a coincidence. No.
No, I don't think so either.
There's a running there. It's what is that called now?
A through line.
No, it's a known term. I can't think of it right now. It's called something.
Instead of coincidence?
Yeah.
It's called a plan. That's what it's called. Or
I guess
I can't remember what it's. I know what you're talking about, and I can't think of it either. All right, where are we at? Another coincidence? I'm noticing a pattern. Go back further. A pattern? Yeah, it's definitely a pattern. Go back further. In 1971, President Nixon took the U.S. dollar off the gold standard. The dollar was no longer backed by gold, only a promise. By all historical logic, the dollar should have collapsed. It didn't. Why? All statements like this, all statements, discussions, and analysis reflect personal opinions, speculation, alleged. We're just going to throw that out there, the disclaimer. So why? Why did the dollar collapse in 1971? Because 3 years later, Henry Kissinger cut a deal with Saudi Arabia. We all know that Kissinger is a really nice guy. Come up with a lot of great things.
Outstanding member.
Yeah. The deal was simple. Sell oil in the U.S. dollar, and the U.S. military will protect the regime. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. They're not over there liberating, they're protecting their assets.
Right.
From the moment on, every country on earth needed dollars to buy energy. That wasn't free market economics. That was forced back monetary policy. Or, more honestly, a protection racket. And it works as long as the military can enforce it. Watch what happens when countries challenge it. Russia demands rubies for natural gas, sanctions, escalation. Syria discusses pipelines priced outside of the dollar system. Civil war intensifies. Pipeline never happens. Iran tries to sell oil outside the dollar. Decades of sanctions. I'm not saying these are good governments or bad governments. I'm saying watch what happens when anyone threatens the petrodollar system. Once you see it, the pattern isn't subtle. SWIFT is not a neutral payment system. It's a weapon. Get caught off of SWIFT and you're locked out of global trade. Russia, Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, different policies, same outcome. This list that you brought up, Fish from another episode talked about the Abraham Accords, which it seems like the same countries are on the same, the same countries on this list that you gave are on in the Abraham Accords. Very interesting. Coincidence?
Very interesting. Conspiracy? Fact or fiction? Dun, dun,
Different
dun.
politics, same outcome. They don't teach this in school because it's uncomfortable. We don't send 18-year-olds to die for freedom. We send them to protect reserve currency status. Currency funds the military protects the currency, like a cycle, or one hand washes the other.
Right.
That's how empires work. Britain learned this the hard way. The British pound was the world's reserve currency for nearly 200 years. And that's what we were just talking about. Because to be honest, Dave, I like read the first half, but I didn't have time. I didn't read the rest of it. We just talked about that. There's a documentary, folks, on YouTube. It's about 45 minutes long, called The New World Order, and not the conspiracy New World Order, but the New World Order in banks. That every British, it's 200 years. The cycle that they're the empire. Everybody uses their dollar,
Right.
and then so that's the British for 200 years. After World War II, Britain lost their reserve status. So there's 2 wars, 2 switches of the guard. Really.
Changing of the guard.
Within 2 decades, the British Empire collapsed. Same cycle. Dutch glider, British pound. Is that glider? Guilder, maybe. Guilder. British pound, now the US dollar. Ray Dalio has warned about this for years. Late stage empire looks like this: military overextension, rising debt, currency weakening, rivals building alternatives. China's Belt and Road isn't charity. It's about creating debt relationships dominating in yen. BRICS, which is, what is it, Brazil?
Yeah.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Saudi Arabia, right? That's what BRICS stands for?
I believe so.
Aren't talking about alternating because they're friends. They're building an exit ramp from dollar dominance. When the
dollar dependence.
Dollar dependence. When the dollar loses reserve status, not if, when the ability to print money without consequences disappears. Then the military contracts, then the people to fight. We should be at least honest about why. Oh, for sure, yeah. Like that's what supposedly there's other conspiracy. This is not even on the list that we have, but well, why did we fight in Vietnam over the price of rice in China? Or that's the thing, but or the stop communists. No, there's other things that we went there for
Right.
that had nothing to do with communists. Or it was the, move things around, move pieces on the board that we needed moved. But that's good. That's a good breakdown, Dave. That was good.
Just doing. I like the one half. I was following this. I guess he was like a digital journalist. I would call him. I follow him on X. He posts every now and then. He doesn't really comment a lot. Doesn't really do much of that. But like he'll do like some findings like this, and then I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then like, what about? And I do remember a couple like Russia trying to do some pipelines in my time on this planet a couple times, trying to move towards like their own funded oil.
Yeah, the BRICS was a couple years ago, I thought.
Well, that was a couple years ago, but I'm talking about even when I was younger.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna, when I post this, or I'm gonna add it to the description, that the documentary, The New World Order, because it's really interesting, and it goes back several hundred years.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
All right, we are live on YouTube. I just checked. We're live on Rumble. We are live on X. And where's the last place? The old
Facebook?
Book of Face.
Yeah. We had to wait on that one. Now we're in. We're in it.
Now we're in. Like Flint.
Yeah, we are.
All right, where
I
am
kind
I
of just
at?
built off of that little thing he posted on, and then
And we are live on Facebook. So let's see, where's my smish and smash? Do. Show it. There we go. Like, subscribe, and turn on that bell wherever you're watching it. We are live. We're just chit-chatting. It shows 0 viewers, but that's okay. I got 2 viewers, and you have 2. Each of us have 2 viewers right now.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used Gemini to, I think I prompted with, like, show, list a few conspiracy theories that have proven to be true in the recent years. So the first one, it was like a very broad, and this, I'm gonna read it. In the fast-moving landscape of information, some claims that were initially dismissed as conspiracy theories have been validated, or at least moved into the realm of serious mainstream discussion, which that's what I named this document, was mainstream discussion. Actually, why am I not sharing it? I can share it. Look, I'm learning.
You're really chewing now.
Right? Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with Crisco. What do we want? Let's do that. Nope. Let's do
Mom
this.
would always say, now we're cooking with bacon.
Let's bring this up here. Boop, 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 boop.
Ah, UFOs, yes.
So that way we can all read along together. And this conspiracy theories have been validated or moved to the realm of serious mainstream discussion due to the newly released documents, whistleblower testimony, or government declassification. Here are a few prominent examples from the last 5 years. That's, I think I asked in the last 5 years.
Oh,
nice. That way.
Okay, good, because mine goes back. Good.
I have another one that got like this one's like a broad conspiracy theories. Then I got one in the healthcare, and then I have, I think, another one in like just finances or something like that. But so the reality of UAPs, why they had to change the name from UFOs. UFOs is way cooler and more, conspiracy theory ish.
What is it? It's unidentified flying objects, UFOs, UAPs, unidentified, or is it
Aerial
phenomenon.
Aerial
Yeah,
phenomenon.
aerial
All
phenomenon.
right. Well, what about those ones that are in the water? Way to go, guys! You screwed that one. Okay.
Yeah. Well, then you just change it. Aquatic phenomenon.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Good. I'm a wordsmith. Read
Yeah.
your thesauruses, people.
Yeah.
So the reality of UFOs. For decades, the idea that the U.S. government was tracking unidentified flying objects with physics-defying capabilities was, what is that? Relegated. Yeah. To relegated to sci-fi and fringe forums. The shift between 2020 and 2023, the Pentagon officially declassified several UAPs, unidentified. What does that say? I can't read that word. What's that word? Anybody?
Anonymous or anomalous?
Anomalous? Oh, we were both wrong with aerial and aquatic.
Wow.
Phenomenon video.
Anomalous.
Anomalous.
You know, they did it all purposeful so that we don't talk about it because we can't pronounce any of the words.
Yeah, they're trying to cover it up some more.
They're not going to talk about this. Look at these words we gave them. You know, they did the studies. They're like, you know what? 85%, I'm making up these numbers. It's alleged. 85% of conspiracy theorists are Republican, and they don't like large words. Just throw as many large words as you can, and they'll dismiss it. They're like, we can't do this. They're like, they're too many words.
Yeah.
Tell me in less words.
Forget it. Tell me in simple words.
Yeah.
This is malarkey.
Malarkey. Now the outcome: the government established all domain anomaly resolution office, AARO, and held high-profile congressional hearings where military pilots testified under oath about objects performing maneuvers that exceeded known human technology, where aliens aren't confirmed, the existence of the craft, and the government's secret tracking of them is now a matter of public record. Number 2, the COVID-19 lab release hypothesis. Lab leak hypothesis. Go ahead, Greg. You want to read that? Like we're in school?
Sure. In early 2020, suggesting that COVID-19 might have originated from a laboratory accident in Wuhan was often labeled a debunked conspiracy theory or even misinformation by major tech platforms. The shift. Over the following years, investigative reporting and declassified intelligence indicated that researchers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the WIV, were conducting gain-of-function research on similar coronaviruses. The outcome. In 2023, both the U.S. Department of Energy and the FBI assessed with varying degree of confidence that the laboratory leak was the most likely origin of the pandemic, while the natural spillover theory is still supported by many scientists. The lab leak is now treated as a legitimate mainstream scientific hypothesis. How'd I do? Yeah.
Well done.
Wow,
Oh,
relax.
You're damn right.
This is actually great for Dave, I think. Go ahead,
Hunter
Dave.
Biden laptop authenticity. Also, in late 2020.
Yeah, there we go.
A story about a laptop belonging to Hunter Biden containing sensitive emails was dismissed by many media outlets and intelligence officials as Russian disinformation. Social media platforms like Twitter, now X, even blocked users from sharing the report. The shift after the election, forensic experts and major news organizations such as New York Times, Washington Post were able to authenticate the data on the drive. In the outcome, 2024, the laptop was used as physical evidence by federal prosecutors in Hunter Biden's criminal trial, confirming its authenticity beyond doubt.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Having some fun.
That's
All right. You know, now it's
Yeah. Heck yeah.
which we know this was happening on the platform X, but shadow banning and tech government collaboration. The idea that social media companies were shadow banning users, secretly suppressing their reach, or taking direct orders from government agencies was often called a paranoid right-wing conspiracy. The shift in the late 2022s, in the late 2022,
Yeah.
the Twitter files, a series of internal documents released by Elon Musk to independent journalists, revealed internal blacklists and tools used to de-amplify special accounts. Let me just say, Gemini made this, and Gemini is using a lot of quotations, a lot of, like, it reminds me of Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott in Role Models. They're like, "Oh yeah, your presence here. Why'd you put here in quotes? Are you suggesting we aren't out here?" Like everything's in quotes. De-amplify.
Chris Farley is the best on SNL. I don't shower regularly, and I frighten children, and I.
That's funny. That's a good one. Yeah, Chris Farley is great. The outcome is the document showed regular communications between the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and Twitter executives regarding which accounts and topics, including those related to COVID-19 and elections, should be moderated or suppressed, confirming that visibility filtering was a standard, though secret, practice. And here's their little Gemini's little tidbit at the end. It's fascinating to see how fringe ideas can move to the center as more evidence comes to light. Would you like me to look at specific details of one of these cases, or perhaps find examples of a different field like health or finance, which I did, and I have 2 more of those documents that we can play around with. We can skim. But I did. Oh yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, go ahead. So since we're still on with just the government part of it, and some of yours might be in here, but can I read a few of these? So I asked it a question, and here's my AI, gathered it up for me, I guess. Sort of starts out the same. Several events and activities initially dismissed as conspiracy theories have been proven true through declassified documents, whistleblowers, and investigative journalism. Here are some notable examples of real-world conspiracies and cover-ups that were at one point wildly considered mere conspiracy theories. The Tuskegee syphilis experiment. The U.S. government intentionally withheld syphilis treatment from African American men for 40 years, 1932 to 1972. The study to study the disease's progression. The study was entirely unethical and led to preventable deaths and suffering before it was exposed to the public. CIA Project MK Ultra. Now, yeah, I think everyone's heard of this at least by now. But the CIA engaged in extensive illegal mind controlling experiments on human subjects, often without their consent, including administering LSD and other drugs. These activities were confirmed via declassified documents in the 70s. So just a side note to that is they would get Johns, prostitutes, and get them in a room, two-way mirror, and have the prostitute douse the gentleman, and that's like she would just leave the room and he'd just be in there flipping out, and they'd just be recording it, writing it down. Your voice, okay, now he's looking at the wall again. He's up there.
Yeah.
Snozberries taste like snozberries, or whatever he's doing. But they would just a lot of two-way mirror stuff in that one. If you would like deep dive into that one. Operation Northwoods. In the early 1960s, U.S. military leaders secretly planned false flag terror attacks on American soil, including orchestrating bombings in U.S. cities and assassinating Cuban emigres.
Immigrants?
No, it just says emigres. Maybe EMIGRES. Emigres. Yeah. To justify a war with Cuba. The plan was real, but was rejected by President J.F. Kennedy. You know what happened to that guy?
Yeah.
Speculatory.
He had a terrible car ride in Dallas.
Yeah. We're just speculating here. I mean, he is dead, but
yeah.
NSA
all statements, discussions.
NSA mass surveillance claims that the U.S. government was conducting widespread, warrantless surveillance on its own citizens was confirmed by whistleblower Edward Snowden in 2013, revealing massive data collection programs. FBI COINTELPRO. The FBI's counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, involved covert and illegal projects aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic political organizations, including the civil rights movement. Big tobacco cover-up. For decades, tobacco companies publicly denied that smoking caused cancer, even while their own internal research confirmed the harmful effects of nicotine and tobacco. This corporate conspiracy was exposed through lawsuits and internal documents. Area 51.
Ooh.
Existence.
The Ark of the Covenant supposedly in there.
Yeah, I see.
Per Indiana Jones.
In that one movie. After years of government denial, the U.S. government officially acknowledged the existence of the secret military base, Area 51, in Nevada through declassified CIA documents released in 2013. Nairaha is a name. It's a name. Let's say Naira. Testimony hoax. The key testimony that helped build U.S. public support in the first Gulf War was given by a woman identified as Naira, who claimed Iraqis were pulling premature babies from incubators in Kuwait. It was later revealed she was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador to the U.S. Her testimony was a coached lie organized by a public relations firm. Jeez, that's evil. Weather control. the U.S. military has experimented with weather modification during the Vietnam War. The CIA seeded clouds and extended the monsoon season in an attempt to disrupt enemy supply lines. People were talking about cloud seeding so long ago, like, you're
I
nuts.
know.
You can't. That's not a real thing. That's what are we in? We're a sci-fi movie, and they do it all the time.
Yeah.
Now they do it all the time.
Well, I always said if you see it in a movie, they have already made it. If you hear about it on any kind of mainstream news, they've already used it. So, it's wild stuff. It's wild stuff. So I just wanted to show this one. Just one of them is this one. So this is a wild one. The government poisoned alcohol during Prohibition. In the 1920s, Prohibition outlawed alcohol in the United States, but people kept drinking anyway because we're Americans. You're not going to stop us. Bootleggers and underground bars flourished, and everyone was busy making booze in their bathtubs. So what did the government do in retaliation? They started poisoning industrial alcohol supplies, which bootleggers were stealing to make drinkable booze and to make people sick and scare them off drinking. Except it wasn't just a deterrent. It was deadly. As one would imagine, when putting poison in something people are consuming, historians estimate that by the end of the Prohibition, up to 10,000 people died from intentionally tainted alcohol, but it's hard to know the exact number, of course. A real-life conspiracy with a body count, and somehow most of us never learned about it in school. Shocking, right?
I just learned that today, just now.
So I think Laura told me about that, and they found, I think Greg and I were talking on the phone about it, about this upcoming show, and they found out because during Prohibition, like, a woman had like 2 husbands and they both died, like, under unusual circumstances. So they decided at that time to do some kind of, their toxology report, and they found that the same toxin that killed him, they found it in beer, and that's how they found out.
Yeah.
That whatever she was using, rat poisoning or whatever she was using, is what
the government was using to poison the alcohol.
Yeah. They found out, they found the same poison in alcohol, and that's how they found that out. Which is wild. So this is the one. Do you have any you want to read on that article you sent me, Dave? Any particular one?
Oh,
got a little friends, 4-legged critters creating some noise, so I put it on mute. He kind of named them when he was reading his. There's a few that I got, which would be.
Well, let me show on the screen here, and you can.
Yeah, go to 3, 2, and 1. I'm not going to read the one that he already wore about Northwoods. I'll read that one.
Oh, there you go. You want to do number 3?
Yeah, Operation Paperclip. Nazi scientists find employment in America. In 1945, Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency was given authorization to offer 1,500 German scientists, technicians, and engineers from Nazi Germany and other countries employment in America. President Truman agreed to the program with the explicit instructions that it only includes those who were not found to have been a member of the Nazi Party and more than a nominal participant in its activities or an active supporter of Nazi materialism. This meant Werner von Braun, Arthur Rudolph, and Herbertus Strugold, who were listed as menace to the security of Allied forces, would not be allowed to find employment in America. The Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency had decided these men were of vital importance to the development of the U.S. rocket program, created false employment and political biographies for the scientists, and completely destroyed all evidence connecting them to Nazi war machine. That's a real thing. That did happen.
Yeah, and when you see when you see, I see Will back there. When you see a picture of those gentlemen, they are so Nazi they have dueling scars. If you know what the dueling scars are.
Isn't it like on their face?
Yeah, so as they're brought up in the Nazi regime as like fun, they fence and they have these crazy face masks on that covers over their noses so they don't get hit in the nose. But really, these covers. Q left.
Now
Pulling up, but
I button on my mouse and it destroyed everything.
Oh, well, can you pull up Nazi dueling scars?
Okay.
And then you'll just see a person. But I think Von Braun has them. So what were those other names? Do you have it there still? It's all right. But if you look up,
You said Nazi dueling scars?
yeah, look that up.
Arthur Rudolph was the other one.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell these guys are Nazis just by that, because this is well, I know it, but a known common Nazi practice. As they're younger, they duel, and they actually has a right. Yeah, look at the one that your cursor's on. That's a good one, probably. Can you make that one bigger?
Which one?
Oh,
this
upper
one?
left. Upper left. You see the blood or whatever, but to the left. Just the one with the goggles on and stuff.
Okay, this one. Right here, this YouTube here?
Just the image that says Facebook historical reference, upper left.
Okay.
All the way up, all the way to the left. And so you could see, go to the left of where you are right now. Left. Underneath
this guy?
Underneath AI mode. Oh, your cursor's not moving on mine.
Oh, there we go. This guy, right?
Yeah, with the goggles and the nose cover. Yes. So that's what they would do.
Almost like Joker scars.
So then you see. So that way their eyes don't get hit and their nose doesn't get cut off. But yep. And so you look at the Nazis all had the same scar. So some of those guys that you just mentioned have those scars, and then they're saying, "Oh, they're not Nazis."
Right.
They were just scientists, or really, they were just born there. But now, so dueling scars, that's a Nazi trait.
That's wild.
Right? And look at that getup, that freaking nose cover thing and the goggles. That's nuts.
It's like, why not just wear like a fencing helmet at that point? You know what I mean? But I guess maybe that's like a initiation.
A rite of passage to get a scar.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see here.
And then there's one more that I wanted to read.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me,
number one on that list that I sent you.
All right.
Because he already did Northwoods.
Yeah, there's Northwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little. Yep.
All right, so the Bohemian Grove, the rich, the powerful, the giant stone owl. Mysteries surrounding the Bohemian Grove, Mount Rio, California, have been a favorite topic amongst conspiracy theorists for many years. Stories usually involve rich and powerful men meeting in the woods every year where they engage in pagan rituals, worship a giant stone owl. The owl reportedly plays a voice recording of a member of Walter Cronkite. Sounds pretty kooky, right? Well, turns out CBS, NBC, and ABC have confirmed the existence of the Grove. The Bohemian Club was formed in 1872, quickly received attention of funding from wealthy businessmen. In 1942, the Grove hosted a meeting for the Manhattan Project that led to the creation of the atomic bomb. While it's true that most powerful men in the world come here and perform strange rituals in front of the stone owl, it's mostly just a place for powerful men to behave like drunken boys.
Yeah, drunken frat boys.
Oh, all right. But there it is. Drunken frat boys. I think we all heard of Bohemian Grove, right?
I just recently heard of it, and it is interesting for sure. But yeah, I just heard of it myself, and it's. Have you? I mean, I'm sure you have for sure. For sure, I've seen it for sure. For sure. That the like images from there. What you know?
Yeah, pull some of those up.
There we go. What is going? There we go. He's back. Yeah, these are some crazy pictures here.
Was I frozen?
Yeah. Well, you were gone completely.
Oh,
here's some images of Bohemian Grove. Like, can we get this a little bit bigger? Let's. Boop, boop. Does that make it better? That makes it a little bit. We can play around with it.
Yeah, there's the place where the city is outside of. There's like a small town, and there's you're in California. This is like Northern California. There's towering trees.
Yeah,
that are out there.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, yeah, that's wild. But the town surrounding this little area is even weirder. There's a whole thing.
The actual city of Bohemian Grove.
Well, the city that I read.
Yeah, that's wild.
The people are strange there. They act like they don't know what you're talking about, but in such a way where it's like, I've seen a couple different videos where people are like, "Have you heard of this place? Do you guys know where this is?" And they're like asking local people who live here, and they don't even know what they're talking about. They act like they're crazy. But it's like even more weirder. Like they hush off really quick and get in their vehicles, or they go away from them, and like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. They act really strange.
That is very weird.
Yeah.
But my God, like there's just, I mean, they call it a rabbit hole for a reason. You just hit, you're like, oh, let me do like DT showed me one time. Or he was talking about and we didn't even get into any of those yet, is the 9/11. He was like watching YouTube, and you know how YouTube has a side strip, and he just went down that rabbit hole, that algorithm abyss, and found some interesting things, very interesting things. I mean, Tucker Carlson just did a segment thing on it, and we talked about the Hunter Biden laptop. He was just on the Sean Ryan podcast, and I wonder what that's about. Is it just him like denying everything, or some people said Sean Ryan just had him some softball questions, so I have to take some time and watch it and see what's what. But what else we got? All right, let's go. Not this one first. Let's go back here. And we're going to share another document. This is another Google Gemini created document. Which actually, hold on a second. I'm going to have some fun. Just since it's actually my favorite font. since we're playing around with that. Let's show on the screen. Just make it better. Oh, it makes it too big. I play around with it. Let's see what we can do. We'll play. There we go. That's pretty good, huh? Get rid of some of this crap. So this is in the financial, I think I asked. In both health and financial sectors, several claims were once labeled as fringe or conspiratorial have been validated by legal settlements, regulatory disclosures, or scientific shifts. Here are prominent examples from the last 5 years. The big food, sugar, and fat influence. This was on a episode of Adam Ruins Everything. If you haven't remember that show?
Yeah.
The big, for years, people have claimed sugar industry bought off scientists who claim fat for heart disease or dismissed as conspiracy reality. Recent academic reviews and historical documents have confirmed that in the 60s and 70s, the Sugar Research Foundation, the SRF, paid scientists to downplay the link between sugar and heart disease, successfully shifting the blame to saturated fat. The impact, this led to decades of low-fat, high-sugar dietary guidelines that many researchers now believe contributed to the global obesity and type 2 diabetes epidemic. In the last 5 years, this has become a foundational part of nutritional science history. Let's get rid of some of these tabs here. Let's get rid of this one and this one. Move it around. We're moving some tabs around. We're doing things. No. All right. Dave sent me this.
Yeah, I've heard of this saturated fat one before. That's pretty diabolical. It's the gut,
It's the powers that be. Yeah.
Powers that be. The cool kid, the cool guy club. We're talking about that.
With George Carlin.
Yeah.
And we're just a big club and we're not in it. Ooh. But massive legal. There's a documentary about the opiate crisis on not a documentary, but with Matthew Broderick. What is it called? Came out about the opiate crisis. That was back in like 2008 or something like that. That was.
Yeah, the Sackler family.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that called?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Painkillers.
Yes.
Is that it?
I think so.
I just thought about it.
Well, you're a walking Rolodex of movies and shows.
I did images.
Yep, you're right. Painkiller miniseries.
Yeah, Peter Berg. He's awesome. Peter Berg directed, wrote it maybe, and put it all together.
What else has Peter Berg been in or done?
You know him from Shocker. Remember that movie, Shocker?
I think so. Yeah. Isn't that where the guy?
Character.
Isn't that where the guy dies and then ends up in the whatchamacallit? Ends up in the the computer or like in the electrical waves.
Yeah, and then they end up jumping through television, different shows and stuff towards the end. It gets kind of silly, but it's a good movie. It's a good
There's also
80s classic.
isn't the Net a very similar concept with Sandra Bullock? That there's
No.
or
Well,
where there's like a ghost in the machine.
I haven't watched The Net in forever. All I remember is that in the beginning of the movie, she orders a pizza online, and when the movie came out, we're like, "Oh, that'd be awesome!" You go on your computer and type in you want a pizza, and it shows up.
That would be awesome.
And then, yeah, it was like in that movie, The Net was like 90, probably 94 or so.
1995. I got it pulled up. I was reading the synopsis.
God, so close.
Computer programmer Angela Bennett, Sandra Bullock, stars as a new freelance gig, and strangely, all her colleagues start dying. Does it have something to do with the mysterious disc she was given? Her suspicions are raised during a trip to Mexico. She's seduced by a handsome stranger, Jeremy Northam, intent on locating the same disc. Soon, Angela is tangled up in a far-reaching conspiracy that leads to her identity being erased. Can she stop the same thing from happening to her life? Very interesting.
I'm pretty good at that too. Like the year, what year was?
But,
Pretty close.
Yeah, there was another one. Maybe maybe I'm thinking of the same movie. Both the shocker.
He's a football player, and then he finds out that this guy, the bad guy, the serial killer, killed his family when he was younger.
Now, this one I find interesting. This conspiracy turned true. The financial the market manipulation. Oh, not that one. Where'd it go? I thought I was looking at. What was I looking at?
While you're looking for that one, the J.P. Morgan, the Titanic. Remember, I said, there's like conspiracy about Titanic. Well, Mandela effect, or just more evidence or whatever. I don't know. I had read that it was an insurance fraud, and J.P. Morgan was and part of Liberty Lines or something like that. The older ship, the Olympic, was
you were telling me
the sister ship, and it had already crashed a couple of times. So they insured the Titanic, but then sent out the Olympic and just faced it and put the Titanic name in it on a plan to crash it, and then just switch names and then start running the Titanic, the newer ship, as the Olympic. That's how I learned about it first. Then I learned, no, actually, they underinsured the Titanic and lost money. But the conspiracy is like 3 other gentlemen that were wanting J.P. Morgan. It might say here about changing.
this is
I should look it up.
I'm gonna read it.
So I don't read
I've got something about it. I'm gonna share this
ahead.
instead.
I'm trying to go back.
So it starts, and I shared this with Dave too. This guy is on Instagram. So you have the 1913 Federal Reserve, income tax, Rockefeller Foundation, all that stuff. But then here's your Titanic. The Titanic sinks on board. These 3 people, all wealthy, all opposed. J.P. Morgan owned the ship. He canceled last minute. They didn't.
That's what I was just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why. And supposedly, like you said, I think he had insurance or something like that, or he, either way, insurance fraud, or you couldn't prove it. It was this, like, it was a sister ship. Like, there's conspiracies about the Britannica that really didn't. That's supposedly the ship, I think, that got torpedoed, that brought us, like, didn't bring us into the war, but brought us to the next step. Like, we avoided joining World War II like it was going out of style, but then we got the Britannica was on that side. Then you have Japan on the other side.
Yeah, there were three ships like the three including the Titanic. The RMS Olympic, and the HMHS Britannic.
Yeah.
And the Olympic. So I saw a thing a long time ago that the Olympic is the one that people go visit, and like when James Cameron did the movie Titanic, he did dives to get like China pattern and make it the most realistic movie, and chandelier and all that. That when they did those dives, there's like footage of them going down there, and people analyzed it, sleuths of the internet, and saw there's like, because it's starting to deteriorate, there's like glue or however they held the words on there, and there's an M. There's like a clear M. Well, Titanic doesn't have an M in it, but Olympic does.
Interesting.
I think I remember.
I'm sure that.
I know.
I'm sure that person ended up suicided.
When I just looked it up, it says no. There was no doubt. In fact, they lost money on the Titanic because it was underinsured. But the J.P. Morgan, the three people that were on there, and J.P. Morgan wasn't on there, is very suspect. Because,
or as the kids say, sus.
It's definitely sus. That one's kind of like, I mean, is it come true? It was definitely a conspiracy. Like back then, J.P. Morgan's like, what? They're dead?
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Morgan. Mr. Morgan, why are you using the high voice? I don't know. It's crazy.
They can't
you only use the high voice when you're lying. No, I don't.
Hold on, I'm looking something up here.
I thought there was another thing about the windows, like when they made the Titanic, the window, like structure or whatever, was a little different.
So, Teddy Roosevelt in 1907 was quoted this behind, which I could just share it. I forgot I could share shit, Behind the ostensible government sits enthroned an invisible government, owing no allegiance and acknowledging no responsibility to the people. To destroy this invisible government, to dissolve this unholy alliance between corrupt business and corrupt politics, is the first task of the statesmanship of today. And that's in 1907. So 1913 or 1912, the Titanic, and he was shot.
Oh, Roosevelt.
He was shot and didn't die. Finished his speech. Like, he's responsible for the national park system too. But and he was played by Robin Williams in Night at the Museum.
Yeah. Rough Rider, Teddy.
Yeah. But it's this one, the precious metal manipulation, because they're they always say, oh well, complete, try to create a system where you can be off the grid and all, out from under the boot of Big Brother. So buy gold and silver, buy gold and silver. So that this is precious metals. The idea that major banks were spoofing, placing fake orders to manipulate prices, the gold and silver market was a staple of gold conspiracy forums for years. The reality in 1920 in 2020, JP Morgan agreed to pay around $920 million to resolve government charges of market manipulation. The outcome: federal investigators found that traders at the bank's precious metals and treasury desk had engaged in tens of thousands of instances of illegal spoofing over an 8-year period, proving that the markets were indeed being artificially influenced by major institutional players. Like and it's now, I think gold is at 8,000 or something like that, or
we lost Q.
You lost me?
No, he's there.
Oh, I did for a sec.
You know, it's funny. When you were talking about Titanic, I had to do like a report. Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. Damn. Is that an ounce?
I think so. Oh, yeah, that's an ounce of gold. Or does it say how much? Open market. But go on, Dave. What were you saying? A book report.
I had to do like Titanic, some type of report. I don't remember, but in my findings, I ended up finding out that there was a book that was written in 1898, and it had to do with an ocean liner that was built by America, and it got struck by an iceberg and it crashed in the northern Atlantic. And this particular book was published before the Titanic sank, but often criticized for the similarities of the real life event and what happened in this book. And so they reissued the book and they renamed it something Titan. The ship's name was Titan, which is kind of similar to Titanic.
Yeah.
But very interesting. Like you want, I mean, that's not a conspiracy, but it's kind of like, interesting, like, like
interesting
that
connection
happened in history.
Yep.
That's interesting.
That's kind of cool. I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Or at least hearing about it. Sounds
and there's
familiar, vaguely familiar. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. That's what I should say. But it's wild. I mean, thank goodness for the internet, because there was I was on Telegram for a while, and there was a guy like chopping trees talking about it. Like, to learn conspiracy theories were so much easier to keep them a theory and not be proven, because it was all paper, it was all telephones. Now you have the internet, and somebody puts it up there, and it's almost like, let's just say, a virus for the people trying to hide the stuff, because you share it, they share it to 10 people. It's hard to get off the air. And like, he was talking, he's like, yeah, when we wanted to learn stuff and that they weren't telling us, we would meet, at the cafe, get a cup of coffee, and we would like exchange what we found and what you found. I was at the, and it was much more, it was slower process and more. Now I think we've run into the problem with what is credible, what's not credible. And that's why I went to, in the last 5 years, because that's when you're writing a paper, it should be, like 3 years. Your sources should be like 3 to 5 years, and that's at max. So I wanted to make sure that we got some, more
Current.
interesting things. Yeah, current. Yes, thank you.
And that's why I sent you that other one.
I got that. Where is it?
It's from 2025. The top conspiracies going on right now.
Yeah, the biggest conspiracies of 2025. Let's share this tab. Let's put it on the screen. Boom. Here we go. The biggest conspiracy theories. And this is by Washington Morning. 6 months ago. World War III was just a show. Some believe that.
Go on.
Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that? What you do? Go on. Will you just repeat? You're like just a couple words behind me, just reading it. All right. I'll do number one. Some believe that recent military confrontations between Israel, Iran, and the U.S. were choreographed events, a massive theatrical distraction aimed at redirecting public attention, consolidating global power, or manipulating oil prices. Supporters point to low casualty numbers, rapid ceasefires, and coordinated media narratives as evidence. I will also say that they were using old stuff, like old video footage.
Stock footage,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, stock footage, like from 2008 or something like that. They're like, oh, look at this. It's so destroyed. And it's like, dude, that's from 2008 and it's the wrong city. Like, well, that's like, they have to do it on purpose. And I haven't looked into it, but the whole Epstein file dump, the redacted documents, suppose you just copy and paste them and they become unredacted. Like, you think that our
no.
intelligence agencies
Didn't think of that.
I mean,
that might be false.
You think that's a clerical error?
I think people like to make stuff up and then see how far it'll go. Also,
I think
that's
the
what you were
government
just
likes to
talking
make
about.
stuff up.
What's real, what's fake, what's true. Now, the other thing is, the other side of that is, our AI is doing stuff that
Is it already controlling governments? Go ahead, Greg.
Yes, it might be. But you can do these things where it could figure out what's behind the redaction, and those technologies. So, and then what we're seeing real, right? Well,
they could have put whatever they wanted.
I was talking. I wasn't even looking. Number 2, AI is already controlling governments. A rising theory claims that artificial intelligence is quietly influencing decisions at the highest levels of government. The idea is that machine learning systems built for defense, finance, or surveillance have become too powerful and are now advising or even manipulating leaders without public knowledge. Probably.
I can see that already being implemented even before AI was introduced as a platform for consumer products. So I think that was already.
I heard. I keep moving it. No, that's me. I heard, and me and Laura were walking through this little plaza area in Gulfgate, and there was like this tattoo parlor that was open, and we walked in, and it was like, it wasn't a tattoo parlor, it was like a art studio, and this guy does like big commissioned art for like downtown Sarasota hotels, this and that, and we're getting talking about, and we end up on what's going on in the world, what went on in the world, all this stuff. And I didn't get a chance to look more into it, but supposedly he said that BlackRock is AI. Like, so the CEO of BlackRock, what is this, David Fink, is his board created an AI to maximize making money. Like, that's its program, to do buy assets, sell assets, make money, and that's it. Just they hit enter, and that's what it's been doing.
Damn.
So it like started in tech, it started in media, then it went to the realty. I had to think of that word.
Yeah.
All right, David, how about number 3?
The Great Financial Reset is underway. Long-running theory intensified in 2025 with people convinced that global elites, including central banks, major hedge funds, and asset managers, are engineering a total reset of the financial system. The aim? To collapse fiat currencies and usher a centralized digital economy controlled by entities like BlackRock or the IMF.
And what is the IMF again? Is that what I think it is?
I forget.
Does it stand?
International money.
Oh yeah, International Monetary Fund,
Monetary.
IMF. All right. Global weather manipulation. Unusual climate patterns and massive natural disasters have ignited claims that governments, or global organizations are using geoengineering technology to control the weather. Cloud seeding, HARP, high frequency active aurora research program, and climate satellites are often named in these discussions. Yeah. I mean, there was talks, and this is all statements, discussions, analysts reflect personal opinion and speculation. Everything here is alleged. We're chewing the fat. We're just chit-chatting. So don't take anything. Take everything with a grain of salt that we're saying. We're pulling up the articles that you're saying here. So, but I heard through the grapevine that the places that Milton and Helene hit were rich in natural resources. Like I believe
the
it's
stuff they use for like data centers.
Platinum.
Yeah. I think it was lithium. Platinum, lithium.
Computerized chips and all that stuff.
Yeah. Which our friend Fish was on the other day, and he's like, yeah, computer parts have gone up. Like something he bought like 3 or 4 months ago was $90. He buys it today, it was like $850, almost $900.
My computer, I got RAM, and when I was at drill, National Guard drill, my buddy looked it up, and he's like, yeah, so it'll be whatever it was, $50. And then he called me on Sunday. He's like, yeah, I gotta change that to $60. So in 2 days, it went up $10.
Wow. Yeah.
And now I don't know. It's probably more than that now. That was last month or whatever. So in just 2 days, though, it was like changing that fast. So he's like, so I need to grab it now before it goes up.
Yeah. All right. Where are we at? We're at number 5. Who wants it?
Fake peace deals. Some conspiracy theorists argue that major peace deals, especially those brokered in the Middle East, are staged and meaningless. They claim the real motives are to gain access to resources, shift public sentiment ahead of elections, or hide deeper military agendas. Look over here. Don't look at us. And never mind the man behind the curtain.
Crypto is being hijacked by governments. While crypto has been seen as the symbol of financial freedom, 2025 has brought suspicion that governments are covertly buying up major assets, creating controlled decentralization and planning to issue their own state-approved coins to phase out independent platforms.
That should be illegal if that becomes a thing.
All right, Dave.
Aliens made contact already? Huh? Fueled by new whistleblower reports and leaked footage, this theory has gained traction again in 25. Some believe governments are preparing for disclosure, while others think alien technology has already been integrated into military and aerospace industries.
Absolutely has.
For
And
sure.
have you guys seen the bipedal creatures, whatever they found in Peru?
No.
Just Google search that real quick. Bipedals found in Peru.
All right. And let's do the final word, and then
And
we'll go to
what is-
that. Whether you believe
okay.
them or not, whether you believe them or not, conspiracy theories reflect the fears, confusion, and skepticism many people feel in a rapidly changing world. As always, it's important to question, research, and separate fact from fiction, especially in a time where reality often is stranger than conspiracy.
It's
I like
always
it.
important to question, research, and separate fact from fiction.
Fishing, yeah. Fact from fishing.
That's what.
Because it's fact, it is fishing.
Yeah, I'm
Fission.
going.
I meant fission, like fission.
Yeah, fission.
Science and fission.
Where are you going? I'm going facting. I'm not going fishing. I'm going facting. Yeah, with AI too. Like, is that a real video? They're getting better and better. My buddy Mark sent me one, and I assume he knew it was AI, but you don't tell it's AI until the very end. There's a glitch. It's clear and like there's no reason for it to be AI. Actually, it's just a video of somebody being silly, and then there's a little glitch at the very end. I'm like, oh, wow, AI is getting ridiculous, just ridiculous.
You gotta watch for
Ridiculously good.
It's almost like a
AI
heat wave, a little blur.
Yep, you gotta watch. You gotta look for it. Okay, so bipedals found in Peru. Now bipedal is like they have 3 fingers, 3 toes, or tripedal, bipedal, tripedal.
When was this? When were they found? Recently?
Recently they've been and they got to scan them, like do a X-ray scan kind of MRI thing, and you could see their veins and their different stuff. I think one of them's pregnant or was pregnant.
Human ancestors were walking upright 7 million years ago. Am I spelling that right? I think so.
And I meant tripedal. I said bipedal. It's tri like 3.
Well, let me try that. Ha 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 ha.
Found it right away, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, this is Reuters. Scientists assert alien mummies in Peru are actually dolls.
Wait, when was that?
This one was January 13th, 2024. So it was a year ago. There's New York Post. 3-fingered alien mummies found in Peru have fingerprints. Let's pull that one up.
Our precious metals correspondent local to the Parma area confirmed that gold is at a 4,500 per ounce.
45.33 to be exact.
45.33.
Wow.
We were asking that earlier.
There we go.
And that's
not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's the other part. there's mental, they are mental, but metal implants that they found on these things too, like advanced technologies.
Yeah.
Their heads are like domed. Let me just do it this way.
This isn't. Yeah, this is not
Not worth that much.
pulling up here.
Silver? No, this is gold.
Doop-bop-doo.
Oh,
Yeah, there's some just crazy.
That much for this, and it's
And what's
going
great, what's wild is it's not crazy like
We're not freaking
anymore,
out that
or
much over it.
which is maybe their plan. Maybe it's Big Brother's plan is to just make us so desensitized that, oh, here we go. Like, well, there's that, like I said before, if you see it in a movie, ooh, got a little bit of gold. And
Yeah.
if you see it in a movie, it's already there. They already have it. If you hear it about it in the news, they've already used it. There's that new movie coming out. What is it? When is that coming out? Disclosure.
Disclosure, yeah, it just said this. Are we getting ready for Disclosure, which is for real us getting ready
right.
for it? But the movie, yeah, that looks crazy. That's
Oh,
Spielberg,
there's a
right?
Yeah, it's Spielberg.
electric. There's an electronic group duo called Disclosure.
There's another
There's
one that's not approved.
There's already a Disclosure movie in 1994. The Age of Disclosure. No, that's a documentary.
That's type 2.
What is type 2?
It's a silver
This is
gold
it.
eagle.
Disclosure Day. That's what it's called. Steven Spielberg. Like Dave said. It comes out June 12th, 2026.
Yeah. Anyway, if you type in what I type in, tripedals found in Peru, and then hit images, the one to the left. Well, let's see what your screen looks like, because there's the one that was proven to be a doll. It's a little tiny thing, which I was like, man, if that's real, it looks kind of fake.
That's
But then this other one, they're already done some testing and scans on it. It
Oh,
seems
I've
like
seen
they
this
really
before.
did find something.
I paid 80
All
for
right.
it.
Yeah, let's
Hold
see
on,
it.
let me share it. I stopped sharing. I've seen this. It reminds me of MIB.
Okay, the one on the upper left in that little, looks like it's on a blanket or whatever.
Yeah,
That one was found to be totally fake. But
this guy, yeah.
the one that's crouching that has 3 fingers, 3 toes, that's the one that's in question right now. That they have to send, like, Peru won't let it go, which is probably smart. But they need to send, like, let us bring our tech, let us bring our testing, things, and let's
And they're like,
work
Peru's
together
like,
to
get
figure
bent.
this thing out. I don't know, but probably. But just now, I guess the most recent thing is their fingerprints are straight, like ours are a spiral and kind of very
Interesting.
wavy. That's what I was looking at.
Well, now we're gonna wrap up the show here, but
It's mummified.
I'll ask each of you, which do you think is the most believable or the closest to truth conspiracy that we've heard today? I guess all of ours are turned true, but what do you think the most, I guess, the truest one is?
That was me.
All right. Since we have somebody's intruding on Dave, Greg, you go.
Yeah. Let's go back. I think that this alien, visiting messages, ships. I want the government to just come out and say, yeah, so we got ships. Like Bob Lazar was not full of crap. He worked on the ships.
Bob
He already
Lazar,
let
that guy.
he just let the cat out of the bag. So here, like, we have it. There's great minds all over the world. So whatever they weren't able to figure out back then, and that was in the '80s, let us have a crack at it. Let some, maybe there's somebody over in, Asia or wherever, Europe, that can lend a hand. I do believe Pops talks about it too. Is they have all this technology, they just drip, let slow drip to us.
Well, I've heard like Stephen. We didn't talk about it with Stephen Greer. He's been pulling up classified documents or declassified documents for decades. But I heard some bad things on him, or he's a plant or controlled opposition. But yeah, they've been talking about it for years, and that he was said something that it's like we're 200 years behind because they've been stifling corporate, just like corrupt corporations, corrupt government have been throttling our development.
Is that why China's ahead of us? They have their own ship crash.
I think maybe,
and they allow for a more open, discovery of it. They keep it hidden from us, but within they like get the people together. Almost all their tech is faster, higher. India too.
Yeah, like because they don't. I mean, it's like they have less corporate interaction, or they keep corporations out of their governments. I don't know how. So, or their government and corporation. Their government is a corporation, and they've just admitted it to their people, and the people are like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah,
Or they're
they
not.
outsourced, and they outsource for knowledge, and the super smart people, come help us with this.
And then,
so yeah, just admit you got ships, damn it.
All right, David. Same question. Out of all the, alleged conspiracy theories, which one do you think that is the closest to the truth? Or I guess which one are we going to actually be disclosed first?
Well, I mean, I don't think you're going to get that in our lifetime, but the stuff of the matter where they like to play with your mind and make you, they put those, what are the clues, context clues out there. I think the one that we've already been talking about, the one that's made big numbers on the channel on Chewing the Fat for us, and we talk about it briefly, is AI. Government using AI in military fashions and all decision makings. Now, I wouldn't say every decision, but I do believe it was used. I do believe it's sort of a technology that they were leaning on. Of course, when you get somebody who isn't so aware of what's going on in their late stages of their life, and they're leading a country as the most freest in the land, well, we can't make the decision for him. We're not really voted in, but he's the city president. We don't want to say that he's not aware of anything. And boom, they already have this stuff that's kind of in place. We could kind of just get away with it. We don't really know. We'll never really know. And that's the kind of other scary thing on that of AI. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's fake, but you don't even know if they've already been using it 10 years, 15 years ago.
Yeah. There's some things that I've seen in shows.
That one is true.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I would agree with you. AI is probably the most likely, or the one that's, most true, or is less conspiracy and less theory, more
Fact.
And more fact is that I think, like the one said, that AI is running governments. I'm sure it's running parts of the government. Maybe it's not completely running unchecked, but it's running. Oh, here, the permits department at the local city. Here, that's AI's reading them, issuing them, all that stuff. They just go in once a week and check that there's a little thing, errors or whatever they have to do. Well, I know, and there has been a lot of backlash for like social media, like YouTube, a few others. I think X are using AI for moderation. I think Spotify was one of them. So they're using AI to moderate their videos or moderate their users, and now it's getting even more. And I've seen a few allegedly that they make AI podcasters, they make AI actor, AI fashion models now. Like, and that's why I said we're just getting what they're showing us. They got something down in the basement, or maybe the attic of the White House, as we talked about. We don't know what's in the attic of the White House, but the White House has an attic. So who knows? I mean, AI is probably our most dangerous, I think, because it can be applied to every aspect of every industry. And like Dave said, like we said in another episode, it's like something like 80%. I have to look at the table again, but like we're using AI 80%, but we only have rules for 5%. So we're using it unchecked, and it's got consequences. That, and I think the Operation Mockingbird is probably, I don't even think that, allegedly, speculation, I don't think it ever stopped. We're still using it. And that's the CIA propaganda machine.
It just evolved.
Yeah, it just changed. Well,
Right.
They use it on TV. They can use it on, and we know from previous articles that social media and the government work together. How funny that is. Oh, the television and the CIA. Oh, they're just, Dave, they just changed the pieces on the board. They're playing the same game.
Big time.
But let's end it on a positive note. Dave, say something positive before we sign off.
It doesn't matter what your favorite type of beer is as long as it's cold.
Nice. Gregorian.
Is that positive enough for you?
Yeah.
As 2025 comes to an end, everyone look forward to 2026. Start anew, start afresh, and keep your head up.
I like it. We started the YouTube channel on September 24th. And I don't like that one. We started it on September 24th. We already have 56 subscribers. We have over 6,000 views. And I'm really having a good time doing this. I get to connect with my buddies. And I've been really positive. And I've been using like that. So I really hope that 2026, we just keep it going and we keep it positive. And I was talking to Laura about it earlier, is 2026, I'm just going to give all my fear and doubt over to Christ and let him create the path in front of me as I walk into 2026. Like, let go of the fear of all that crap that we're talking about and just give it over, let it go, and just let it unfold in front of me and keep that going. Because I'm really having a fun time doing this with you guys. And if you guys are watching out there, like, subscribe if you like, it helps the channel. It puts us up. It gets us out of the weeds, so to say, the AI weeds. And I just really like to do it and have fun with it. I think we were talking next Saturday's episode is going to be just fun facts and useless knowledge. Because I'm gonna try that trend. Just have one kind of heavier episode, have a fun one. Depending on what happens in the world, we do have to get into the Epstein debacle and all that shenanigans, but minutia. But we got to get all into that. But we'll have a fun episode and we'll keep it going. And that's it. I mean, thank everybody.
I want to join you on that mission. By the way, I want to join you on that mission of let it go, and let the Lord create that path.
Yeah.
And quit worrying about, getting in my head. Talked about woodworking business in the near future. Getting off the road, treating my body better.
Yeah.
So, quit worrying so much. Let the Lord take the wheel. As the saying goes.
Who is that? Carrie Underwood? Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. I think so.
But it's more of it's like a two-pronged. It's letting go and like giving it over. Like at the same time, like maybe they're the same thing, but I feel like they're different. Like you can let go, but then still think you're in control, where you have to let go and just give it over. Just like everything Laura's doing. She's in the flow. She's doing what she wants to do, that she's passionate about. And things are happening for her. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for 2026. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm happy. And I'm having a good time.
Great.
Thank you, Dave.
And if the beer's cold, it's good beer. And there's a quote, and it's a quote from Kong, I think. John Goodman says, "Don't judge a man by what he drinks, just how he handles it." And it's like I looked it up. It's like, don't judge a person by what situation they're in. Judge them how they handle the situation they're in. Which is what we were talking about just now. But thank you, gentlemen, for joining me tonight. Thank you, all the people that were watching. And you know what? We'll catch you on the next one.
Well, then you won't, then you're at, I'll go. I'm going to say it to you. These three little words, and they mean that we are through.